In our time together this week, whether you're the president of a company, a key executive inside of a company, a senior leader inside of a company, a sales leader, or a sales professional, here's what I want us to collectively think about. What type of an experience are you providing for your clients? And I'll take it even one step farther. What type of Disneyland-esque experience are you providing to your clients? So when we think of Disneyland and the theme behind Disneyland, it's the happiest place on earth, as Disneyland has done something better than anybody else out there. They capture memories and experiences like none other, not like, excuse me, like none other from each and every person who walks through those gates. So as we start our time together off this week, I had a great experience over the weekend and I wanted to share it. It's going to tie into the theme about an experience. So I live here in Southern California. The city I live in is Thousand Oaks, and that happens to be in Ventura County, California. My wife and I attended the 10th annual Banana Festival, believe it or not, in Port Hueneme. Port Hueneme is a harbor town. It's also a naval base. The Seabees are there as well. But what was interesting about this banana festival is I learned something. And I'm just passing on this. Some of you might be go, hey, this is useless information, but there's 5 billion pounds, 5 billion with a B pounds of bananas that come through that harbor every single year. And as my wife and I were attending the banana festival, there was something that I noticed, and we're going to key in on this as it relates to experience. There was people of all ages. There was toddlers. There was young people. There was young adults, middle-aged, and even senior citizens there. And the nice thing about this banana festival and the coordinators is they catered the experience to each and every attendee who walked in to the festival. There's a great book that, and I'm gonna tie this all together. There's a great book. It's 8, 9, 10 years old now, by Brent Adamson and Matt Dixon. It's called The Challenger Customer. And I'm going to tie in an inspirational experience to this as it relates to what I experienced at the Banana Festival. But in the book, early on, they went on to say this, that on average, they had found out that there's 5.4 different people involved in a purchasing decision. Well, we all know that now. There's obviously a lot more than that, but we're going to use 5.4. That's rounded up to 6 people involved in a B2B buying decision. Now, here's what's interesting. In the book, they went on to say this. Each one of those people has a unique perspective on things. So, here's what I want us to think about. In my experience this past weekend at the Banana Festival, they were catering the experience to each attendee who walked in, whether you were a toddler, whether you were young-aged, middle-aged, even into senior citizens, presidents of companies, senior leaders, and sales professionals. What kind of an experience are you bringing your clients? So here's what I want us to think about. Think about all the key decision makers and influencers that you have right now inside your client base. And I want us to think about that. Let's isolate those 6 key decision makers and influencers. You may want to grab a sheet of paper and a pen and just jot who those people are down on a sheet of paper. Now, here's what I want you to think about. What experience are you providing to each one of those individuals? Are you catering your experience to each one of those key decision makers and influencers? And here's what I'm going to ask you to think about. It's not zeroing in that experience on the key decision maker or zeroing in that experience on the person who signs your agreement. I want you to think about what experiences are you providing each and every one of those individuals. And this is why I believe this, as a sales professional, a sales leader, and even as we go up the ranks inside of an organization, you are responsible for the experience. You are responsible for how you show up. So, this week, here's what I want us to think about. What Disneyland-esque, what type of an experience are each and every one of you providing to those six key decision makers inside of your client base? Are you inspiring and influencing them into doing better business? How are you showing up? Are you capturing memories and are you capturing experiences? And yes, I believe you control this. Regardless of how well your company may be doing this, it's up to you as an individual to do this. Think of those six key decision makers and then ask yourself, how am I showing up? What kind of an experience am I providing to them? What kind of differentiation am I providing to them? Am I being unique? Now, here's the last one is am I creating distinction? Am I creating distinction between how I show up compared to all the other people that are calling on that same client? Let's think about this week. And here's why this ties I'll go to toe and I'll throw a stake in the ground on this one. If you don't inspire and influence your clients into doing better business, I promise somebody else will, because your clients and your future clients, they'd rather connect and do business with a sales professional who sells from the heart as opposed to one who is an empty suit. I sincerely appreciate each and every one of you because together we are bringing this movement of selling from the heart to the forefront. It's about bringing sincerity, deep business substance. We just call it simply here at Selling from the Heart, giving a rip. And that's what I want you to think about this week. Give a rip about your clients and bring an experience to them like none other. And if you do this, watch what happens to your long term sales sustainability. Have an amazing week.